get started. Thank you.
All right, guys. I'll answer any questions you guys have from my end.
Again, if you have a question for Coach Campbell, please use the raise hand button in your participant panel. Our first question tonight will come from Randy Peterson of the Des Moines Register. Go ahead, Randy.
Yeah, congratulations. And what was it like afterwards in the locker room? What kind of celebration was it?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. You know, I think obviously this team's very proud of what they've been able to do, and certainly a lot of celebration towards our seniors. But I think also a sense of understanding that there's more football left to be played, and in all honesty, if we want to continue to move forward, then we're going to have to continue to learn from tonight and then continue to get ourselves back into our habits of moving forward. So, I think a little bit subdued in that way. Maybe that's me, and maybe that's the senior class that still feels like there's stuff left out there to prove.
Yep.
Next question will be from John Schaefer of WOI. Go ahead, John.
Matt, do you feel like this was the most complete game you guys have played this season?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that, I've got so much respect for West Virginia, a team that I really has been outstanding all year. And, I just feel like for us, we were able to be very complete in situational football. Not perfect, but I think complete. And so I think that part's really positive. And again, I think the growth that this team has stayed the course long enough to continue to get better. That's been really powerful, and the only way that happens is if you have great leadership in terms of player-driven leadership, and we're certainly really fortunate that we're receiving that right now.
And really quick, I know you could talk about every senior individually, but earlier this week, Lawrence White mentioned how you and your staff helped him get through some really dark times personally. What's it mean to see him complete this journey at Iowa State, graduate with a degree?
Yeah, that's. I think the reality is that's why you do what you do. Winning's great. That's awesome, and I think unfortunately in this level of athletics that we sometimes miss the course of what's the most important. And still, what's the most important is these are 18 to 22-year-old young people. They come in as young men, and you hope you can give them the tools that by the time they leave here that they can stand on their own 2 feet and be great men and go serve their community, go serve their family, and have an opportunity to live a great life. And I look at a guy like Lawrence, and I just see the epitome of that. And Lawrence is just one of, I mean, all 16 have been through really tough times. And I think if we all go back to 18 to 22 years old, you know, in life, you face some really unique challenges, and it challenges who you are and who you're going to become. And the neat thing about this group of seniors that we have is all 16 have become the best version of themselves that they can be. And, you know, for me, that's as much as we've had success on the field, we really have had great success with these young men as men. And for that, I couldn't be prouder.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Question will be from Travis Hines of the Ames Tribune. Go ahead, Travis.
Hey, Matt, what did you think of Brock's night tonight?
Elite. You know, I think he's been incredible since, you know, really, I think we've played like he's played down the stretch, and it's what you expect from a junior that's played a lot of football here and who's maybe one of the great leaders of all time in the history of this school. And he has played as close to what he's capable of playing in every game down the stretch, and it's been really fun to watch him. But he's the difference, and you know he's really special.
What's locked in, or I guess what's allowed him to play at the level that he's playing at maybe halftime of that Baylor?
Yeah, I just think having, you know, really having the courage to continue to improve. You know, I think sometimes, you know, you see guys at the quarterback position or maybe players in general that have success early in their career and they quit improving. They quit going to work because they think they've arrived. And Brock Purdy has never acted like that one day since I've known him. And all he's continued to do is pound away at his craft to really work to become the best version of himself that he can be. And, you know, I think you have to have successes and you have to have failures to figure out who you are and correct yourself. And Brock has had the ability through both successes and failures to grow and to continue to pound away to become his best. And so I think his humility and the lack of ego has allowed him to become the best version of himself that he can be.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Our next question will be from Matt Valentin of the Iowa State Daily. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Matt, obviously, senior night tonight. I know it's a pretty cliche question to ask, but, I mean, just how good was it to see seniors coming through tonight? And pretty much throughout the entire game, it seemed like Chase was involved, Kane, Landon, Jaquan, a bunch of other guys. I mean, how special was it to see them perform, and what's going to be their final home game here?
Yeah, I think really special. But, you know, I'll also tell you, how is that any different than any game that we've played this fall? You know, in a lot of ways, that's what this senior class has done. They've demanded excellence. They've demanded greatness, and they've demanded to stay the course. And the biggest plays and the biggest moments have come from so many of those guys that you just said. And so, you know, it's really rewarding to finish, obviously, the regular season the way we did here at home, and those guys being able to do really what they've done all year for this team and this program. So I know from my end of it, I couldn't be happier for each and every one of them.
Can you just give us a quick update on Dylan's situation? He obviously didn't play tonight.
Yeah, you know, I think Dylan is hopefully going to be in a really good spot to be able to regain him back here in the next week or so. You know, dinged up his ankle a little bit in the Texas game. I think shows you how tough he really is because, you know, really fought through it and played through it. Just wasn't ready to go tonight, but hopefully we'll have him back ready to go here moving forward.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Next question comes from Ben Visser of the Cedar Rapids Gazette. Go ahead, Ben.
Hey, Coach, at the beginning of the season, or maybe even before the beginning of the season, you said that the team that finishes on top is going to be the team that's able to stay on the field. You guys didn't miss a game due to COVID, and from my knowledge, you didn't miss a practice or any practice time. What does it say about your team that you're able to get through COVID and this whole pandemic and finish the season on top of the regular season?
Yeah, I think it tells you what kind of young men 18 to 22-year-olds sit in our locker room. They were on a mission. They have been unbelievably relentless about doing the little things right outside of here, and they've stayed the course. And I think that's hard enough for everybody else in our society to figure out, let alone asking 18 to 22-year-olds to figure it out. And yet these guys have done an incredible job of staying the course. And, you know, and I say that knowing that anything can happen, and I get that. But what these guys have been willing to sacrifice really since March it's unheard of. And so I think it's very telling of what they've been able to do and where it's been able to get them. And, they'll have to stay the course if they want to continue to grow. And it's going to be really fascinating to see if we can.
Did you have a positive COVID test during the season at all?
Yeah, absolutely. We had,
Okay.
we had a couple for sure.
And then, does it make it any more special that you're able to do it during this pandemic?
Yeah, I think it's defining of Iowa State, right? Like, it's really hard, and this is really hard. And what just occurred since March is really hard, not just on people or not just on football teams, but people. And, you have to have a special courage and a special commitment and a willingness to be your best to grow in times like this. But I've always said this, adversity defines who we are and what we become, not when it's going well and not when it's easy. And I think it's very defining that this team, through its toughest and most trying times, have had this unique ability to stay the course. And I think it's kind of fitting for this senior class, to be quite honest with you.
And then switching gears, this last question for me. Was that a design play for Landon Akers to get a touchdown?
Yeah, I don't know if it was designed just for Landon. It was designed to score in a critical moment. But just really excited for Landon. I mean, he's the epitome of what this program is about. Part of the unbelievable glue that holds this team together. And for him to shine in one of his biggest moments and one of this team's best moments, I couldn't be any happier for him.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Our next question will be from Zane Douglas of the Iowa State Daily. Go ahead, Zane.
Hey, Coach. Just talk about what it kind of means for the process and just the program in general to make the Big 12 championship game.
Yeah, I don't know those things other than I think the ability to stay the course and continue to grow and get better every day is really hard. And I don't think that there's a lot of people that can do it. I don't think there's a lot of teams that can do it. And, especially do it when times are the toughest. And this group has proven that they were willing to stay the course for the last 14, 15, 16 weeks. Again, there's still 2 weeks left before you get to the next game. And that'll be a real challenge. Can we? Can you? Those things are really hard, but it's going to be really fascinating to see if we can do it. And, to me, this is so much about this senior class and this team that, it's really rewarding to watch the leadership that's occurred to lead us on how to navigate these really rough and trying waters.
And then switching gears a little bit, Brock Purdy has kind of used his legs a little more consistently recently. Do you feel like there was a switch ever in kind of confidence or, what he's reads that he's made in that area? And if there was, when do you think that kind of occurred?
No, I don't think there's ever been a switch. I think from the time that Brock Purdy went in against Oklahoma State, he's given Iowa State football a chance to win and be successful in every game. And I think he's a young man that just keeps growing from game in and game out, practice in and practice out. So no switch, just growth.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from Jared Stansberry of Cyclone Fanatic. Go ahead, Jared.
Coach, after your first game at Iowa State, you said that your mission was for there to be a point in time where you draw the line and quit disappointing the people who come out and support your program week in and week out. When you think through the time since then, how do you feel like you and this program and these kids have done in accomplishing that goal?
Well, Jared, you know what it was like before. So I think maybe you could answer that question better than I can. I think all we've tried to do is go to work. And, there was a lot of hard road and a lot of tough waters that we had to really start back over, clean up, and get aligned. And, the reality of it is that hasn't happened consistently here ever. And, I think what these kids have done have demanded that change occur. And every year, every senior class from the first one here to where we are today, I feel like has grown from each other's growth and lessons. And that part is really rewarding because that's what team and that's what program and that's what culture should be able to do. And I feel like there has been significant growth. But again, I think it's a great question, but you probably can answer that better than maybe what I could answer it.
Our next question comes from Randy Peterson of the Des Moines Register. Go ahead, Randy.
Matt, I think here's one you could answer. Last year, the team lost 4 of the last 6. This year's team enters the championship game with 5-game winning streak. What's the difference?
Yeah, I think we took the lessons that we've learned along the way. The lessons that we learned last year, and I'm not just talking about our players. I'm talking about myself, our coaching staff. Everybody was able to put their ego aside and try to figure out what was holding us back from taking a positive step forward. I think from my end of things, had we not gone through that, we wouldn't be where we're at today either. And I would say that every season since I've been here has taught us a little bit more of how to continue to move ourselves forward. And so from 3-9 year 1 to, Lazard and Lanning year 2 to, where we were at the Alamo Bowl year 3 to obviously what occurred last year. And I think every team and every group of seniors has had a different unique challenge, especially when you're starting at the bare bottom and building back up. And, you got to take the lessons learned and you got to be willing to put your ego aside and just grow. And I really think that, again, we learned a lot along the way last year. And, I would say from my own standpoint as the head coach here, probably my greatest growth area, because there was a lot of growing that I had to do after last football season as well.
Thanks, Matt. There's pretty good stuff going on right now on the field with the seniors and their parents, by the way. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome. I hope they enjoy it.
Our next question comes from Sam Stubbe of KURE. Go ahead, Sam.
How do you now move forward and build off this win and prepare for the Big 12 championship?
Yeah, I think, the choice is you either continue to grow like we have all year or you're satisfied with what's been accomplished. For me, I choose to grow, but for our 124 seniors in our program, or 24 players in our program, they're going to have to make a choice. And, that's kind of the challenge. That's what we talked about at the end. And, we either will or we will not. And, I guess we'll find out in 2 weeks.
Our next question comes from John Schaefer of WOI. Go ahead, John.
Piggyback off that, how big is it having an extra week to prepare for what's likely to be Oklahoma again on December 19th?
Yeah, I think whoever it may be or whatever it will be, it'll be a fantastic football program and a really special team that we'll be competing against. And so, I think from our end, it's certainly positive that we can heal. If you really look back at this last 3-week block that we've played, all championship caliber programs, all championship caliber teams, and it's taken a lot for us emotionally and physically to be at our best. So a chance to kind of recalibrate, find the growth areas that we need to continue to work on, and then go to work and develop a plan to get ourselves ready. I think that's certainly a positive for this program.
Final question for Coach Campbell will come from Bill Seals of Cyclone Park. Go ahead, Bill.
The teams have by John Bailey, Bill McDonald. Obviously, Bailey builds on that career record sack total, and then Will now has the 8.5 sacks for a season. That's a career for a season best.
Yeah, you broke up a little bit there, but I heard the tail end of Jaquan, obviously, and Will. And, again, those two are special football players, and those guys have continued to improve. Obviously, Jaquan has played his best football his career, his senior year. I think coming back from that injury, going back to work and continue his growth has been a huge positive. And Will's still a young player in our program, and I see Will continuing to play great football. And I'm excited because I still think there's a lot for Will to continue to grow so he can be his best as his career and his growth pattern continues. So, but we're really fortunate to have both of those two young men in this program, and they've done a great job for us.
Your time tonight, Coach.
All right, our first student athlete is tight end Charlie Kolar, and he's coming to the podium right now.
And as Charlie comes to the podium, a reminder that if you have a question for any of these student athletes participating, please use the raise hand button in the participant panel. All right, Charlie, our first question for you comes from Randy Peterson of the Des Moines Register. Go ahead, Randy.
Charlie, congratulations, first of all. You guys are on a 5-game winning streak right now at the end of the season. Last year, you guys lost 4 of the last 6. What's the difference?
We're playing better football. I mean, both sides of the ball. I mean, defense is another impressive outfit by them. 6 points, kept them well below their season averages. And then offensively, I thought we had a good game plan by Coach Manning, and then we executed it well. Brock had a good game, Brees had a good game, Landon scored, it was awesome. Offensive line's playing well. And then special teams, I think we had a good game too. Just executing all sides of the ball. Just more execution down the stretch. Last year we lost to OU by 1, lost to Kansas State by 10, Notre Dame by 24. We just lost games on the stretch. And so this year, just about flipping the script and finishing games. And so I think that's been a big difference this year.
Does anything have to do with that about the new strength and conditioning program?
Oh yeah, they're awesome. Coach Andrews and his staff have done a great job. I have no hard feelings for Coach Wade. I love Coach Wade, but Coach Andrews has really done a good job of taking us to the next level. And his whole staff, he brought in 2 new guys and kept 2 old ones. They've all done a great job, and more than just working out and getting stronger, also the recovery piece of it, and being able to go for the whole season. And just they've done a great job. We're blessed to have them.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from Ben Visser of the Cedar Rapids Gazette. Go ahead, Ben.
Hey, Charlie, what's it say about this team that you guys were able to, during a global pandemic, play every single game? And to my knowledge, you had every single practice that was scheduled. You did that, and then you are first place in the Big 12 on top of that. What's that say about this team?
It shows from the very top of the organization to the bottom, every coach and player, about making sacrifices. It's not fun to, stay in the bubble. It's not fun to not go out. It's not fun to not hang out with people outside the team. But that's what it takes, and that's where see these other programs that have problems. Most of the time, if teams keep their bubble, they can maintain the safety and the health of the team. And I think it shows the sacrifice, not just the guys on the field, but also the guys off the field of taking the time and staying safe and staying in our little bubble to keep playing games. It's not over yet. It's a great win, but job's not finished, and we have to keep doing a good job of staying in our bubble, keep sacrificing because we're not done yet.
And then changing gears a little bit, a few weeks ago, you joked that your team was going to get Landon Akers a touchdown. What was your reaction when he got that touchdown?
That was one of my favorite scores of the whole career. I was running the corner on that play, went to go jump on him, and he fell on the concrete. But it was incredible. I mean, if you see the way our sideline celebrated and see the way everyone celebrated, that's a testament to Landon and his character. You talk about a guy, who sacrificed for it's his 15th year. He sacrificed for all of them. And special teams and doing the dirty work and blocking and being behind guys, and for him to keep pounding and to have the effect on the game he has, and for him to finally get in the end zone it was incredible. I've never been happier for a guy to score. He deserves every bit of the credit he gets, and he's an incredible player, incredible teammate.
Thank you.
Yep.
Our next question comes from Mark Freund of WHO TV. Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, Charlie. Iowa State's been playing football for a really long time. You guys have just accomplished something that hasn't been done in triple-digit years. What's the sense of accomplishment like right now for you guys, and maybe for you personally?
Job's not finished, and we won. It's a great win. We're gonna celebrate tonight in the bubble, and then we're gonna come back to work tomorrow and get ready to go because like we said, we didn't set out to be regular season champs or to be 8-1 or 8-2. We set out to win every game we play, and job's not finished. So yeah, it's great. It's a great win. We're happy. blessed to send the seniors off the way we did, but we still have games left to play, and we're going to study, we're going to prepare, get healthy for every team we have. I've heard it probably is OU, might be OU. We're going to prepare and be the best we can, ready to play that game.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from Zane Douglas of the Iowa State Daily. Zane, unmute yourself and go ahead.
Building off that, Charlie, how that's been kind of Coach Campbell's mantra, just not finished yet, going forward, the process and all that. How easy has that made that, or has Coach Campbell's kind of mantra made it on the players to kind of buy into that, and right now especially?
Yeah, it was starting from Coach Campbell all the way down. The coaches do a great job of, preparing every week, because every game is a different season in its own. Every game's a one-game season, so you got to flush the good ones and you got to flush the bad ones. And so, they do a great job preparing us, and also give credit to the seniors and the leaders in this team and all of us and the whole team. We started off the season, we lost to Louisiana, and everyone wants to jump off and tell us we're not good or what happened. But the thing is, we believe from the top to the bottom. We believe in this team, we believe in these players, and that. So a game like this is that. Don't get us wrong. We're grateful. We're happy to be here. It's a great win. We celebrate every win. But starting tomorrow, we're ready for the Big 12 championship game. We start preparing for that, because at the end of the day, the most important game is the next game, and now the next game is the Big 12 championship game. So it's a great win, incredible night. I couldn't be happier and more proud. I love this team so much, and I couldn't be more proud to be a part of it. And it's a great win, but job's not finished.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from John Schaefer of WOI. Go ahead, John.
Charlie, what's it like to see Chase and Dylan out there on senior day and sending them out this way too?
Yeah, those guys are, incredible teammates. I love those guys so much. See the guys, they don't always get the same amount of credit or publicity, and they just keep fighting every day, through injuries, through the rough seasons, through the not playing, through whatever it is. Those guys, I would die for those guys, and they would do the same. See Dylan, who's hurt, but he'll work his way back. He'll be back. And then see what Chase has gone through. The guy walked in to try to jump in. Whatever happened. But I literally remember when I got a call when I was recruiting, and I come in to visit, and they tell me that Chase didn't look both ways, and he got hit by a car. And you see him fight through that. And you see Dylan having 2 or 3 surgeries in college and fight through that. Some of it's bad luck. Some of it you probably should have looked both ways. But the truth is, I'm joking, but those are 2 of the greatest teammates I've ever had in my entire life. And to see them, Chase be able to perform, but also do what Dylan's done all season, is I could not be more grateful to be a part of that tight end room. We got some great young guys, but those 2 guys, to set the leadership and example they've put in that room from day one, it's been bar none. And it's I could not be more grateful to play alongside those 2.
Our next question comes from Travis Hines of the Ames Tribune. Go ahead, Travis.
You see Brock play better football than he's playing right now?
It's hard to remember. He's so efficient right now. I saw the stats. He's 20 for 23. It's pretty incredible efficiency. But also, it goes beyond that. The way he leads the team. Look at that Baylor game. He threw 3 picks in the first half. But the Brock in that game is the same Brock in the next game as the same Brock as the next game. And he's sitting back here, so I don't give him too many compliments because it gets too big-headed. But no, I would go to war with him any day of the week. He's the same guy. And the crazy thing is, is you only see him on game days. He's the same guy all the time. You would think on January 1st we're about to play in a week, but no, he's still just as locked in for the workouts. And I look up to. I try to be more like him the way he leads the team, and it's incredible.
Our final question for Charlie will be from Matt Bellinson of the Iowa State Daily. Go ahead, Matt.
Charlie, I know you said the job's not finished, and there's games left to be played with this senior class, but when it's all said and done, what do you think this senior class's legacy is going to be in this program?
We don't know yet. We'll figure it out at the end of the season. But you talk about guys who came in, and Coach Campbell uses it a lot. Coach Campbell says culture changers, and it's true. They do such a good job of setting an example, and it's not just in the season. It's the off season. It's through COVID. It's through the leadership meetings. Through whatever it is. They've been a true testament to this team. And a lot of guys in that class who don't get the recognition other guys do. Guys like Jervis or Josh Bailey, other guys who don't always get the publicity. As everyone else, from top to bottom, that class has been incredible. and they've stayed through the dirt and stayed through the mud, and I couldn't be happy for them.
Thanks for your time tonight, Charlie.
Yep.
All right, our next student athlete is Brock Purdy. He's coming to the podium right now.
All right, once again, if you have a question for Brock Purdy, please use the raise hand button in the participants panel.
Hey, guys.
Brock, thanks for joining us. Your first question tonight will come from Travis Hines of the Ames Tribune. Travis, go ahead.
Brock, how did you evaluate the way that you played, not only tonight, but maybe going back to the halftime of that Baylor game?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I'm just playing my game as far as not overthinking things, keeping it simple, trusting what coaches are calling, and understanding that I got really good guys around me. And all I got to do is trust in them, get them the ball, and they make the rest happen. So that's really what I'm focusing on right now, and I'm really just happy for the team, that we're able to be in this position at the end of the year.
You say keeping things simple. What does that mean for you and for this offense?
I mean, just understanding, what the defense does, understanding what our play is, and then just getting the ball, to my guys accurately. At practice and everything, I'm just really diving into the precision and details of being accurate, making sure I'm on the right side of the field with my decisions and things like that. And when I just do that, keep it simple, I think good things happen. So.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from Mark Floyd of WHO. Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, Brock, we've heard a lot of jobs not finished type comments from Coach Campbell and Charlie, but can you at least describe or put into words the accomplishment that you guys have just achieved?
Yeah, I mean, it's special, that's for sure. Just because of where Iowa State has been, the programs and teams that have been through here, and then to finally be able to, get to the game that we all dream of playing in, is pretty sweet. It's special, but just like Coach and Charlie said, it isn't finished. We don't want to just get there. We want to win it, and that's the ultimate goal. That's the mission that we're on, and that is why the job is not finished yet.
Our next question comes from John Schaefer of WOI. Go ahead, John.
Brock, what was it like getting Landon Akers that touchdown?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we were on the sideline when we heard the play call, and it was funny. Like, a bunch of the receivers and everybody around Coach Shieldhouse were like going crazy because they knew the Landon play was coming up. We had practiced it and everything, and when we went out there, I was just praying that I was able to throw it accurately, and I knew he would be there, and he was. And so to be able to celebrate with him and have the whole team on the sideline ready for him when he came jogging off, it was special. It was sweet. So, that guy's someone who doesn't always get the credit, and but he deserves it, man. He's been through a lot, and I love him as a brother. So.
And then how big is it for you guys getting an extra week of preparation, recovery time, all that before the Big 12 championship on December 19th?
Yeah, it's going to be huge. I think, the past 3 games that we played, we've been through, a really good gauntlet of teams. And just to be able to heal up, feel good going into that game is going to be nice. And, I know Coach Andrews and everybody in the training room, they're going to do a great job of getting us right and getting us ready.
Our next question comes from Matt Valentin of the Iowa State Daily. Go ahead, Matt.
What does a guy like Landon just mean to you personally? Obviously, like you mentioned, he's been through a journey here and might not get all the credit all the time, but just what does he mean to you personally?
Yeah, I mean, just the person he is, how humble he is. He doesn't walk around here like he's the man or anything. He just comes in, does his work, shows his love to his teammates, and I've seen that the past 3 years that I've been here. And being able to hang out with him outside of football, he gives you really good haircuts, so that's been nice. And just other than that, man, he's just always just a great human being. He cares about everybody here, and obviously everyone cares about him. Just because like the way you saw everyone's reaction after his touchdown was awesome. So again, I love him like a brother, and I'm just really, really happy for him.
Our final question for Brock Purdy tonight will come from Zane Douglas of the Iowa State Daily. Go ahead, Zane.
Hi, Brock. You had a couple third down runs that went for first down, couple scrambles. What do you think running the ball from you, I guess, has it made your game more versatile? And what has it done in the last few games?
Yeah, I think it's helped out. It's sort of just added to what we can do as an offense. Obviously being able to give our backs the ball, hit everybody in the air, and then also if I need to, use my legs. And I do think it has helped. But I'm not going out there like, all right, I'm going to run right here. If it presents itself, awesome, I'll take it in whatever situation we're in. And I think the past couple games it's worked out pretty well. So it's part of my game, and to be honest, it's just a reaction when I'm out there.
And then overall, sorry about that. Overall, do you feel like you're in the best flow of your career, Brock?
To be honest, I don't know. Mentally and everything, I feel like I'm in a good spot. I trust my teammates, trust my coaches. I trust in myself and my game. And, whatever we got going right now, we're going to keep doing it, keep getting better, and, see if we can get it done in the Big 12 Championship. So.
Thanks so much.
Yep, thank you, guys.
Thank you for your time tonight, Brock. Okay.
All right, last student athlete is Mike Rose, and he's coming to the podium right now.
If you have a question for Mike Rose, please use the raise hand button in your participants panel. Our first question for you tonight, Mike, will come from Bill Fields of Cycling Report. Go ahead, Bill.
The defensive ends that Jaquan Bailey, Will McDonald had tonight and getting after the quarterback like they did.
Could you repeat the first part of that? Sorry, I missed that.
The ends that had tonight, Will McDonald, Jaquan Bailey really getting after the West Virginia quarterback.
How they got to him tonight? How I feel about it?
Yes.
Yeah, obviously, they're obviously two of our best pass rushers. They've been very consistent this whole season. And just seeing a guy like Jaquan, who went through a lot last year, and a guy like Will who, kind of had to wait his turn a little bit to get on the field. It's just great seeing those guys, succeed, and obviously that those sacks help our defense tremendously, and making them second and long, third and long. So obviously, that played a huge part in our success today.
Thanks, Mike.
Yep.
Our next question comes from John Schaefer of WOI. Go ahead, John.
Mike, what's the feeling of accomplishment like right now, knowing that you guys are heading to the Big 12 Championship game?
Honestly, I would be lying to you if I didn't say, it's really exciting. And, I'm just extremely happy for this team. But obviously, our goal is not just to get there. So, we got to take these next 2 weeks very seriously and just do everything we can in our power to, be our best when that day comes. But, like I said, it's awesome. It's just everything that everyone has sacrificed to get to this point. It's good to finally get there, but we're not done.
What's it like when you guys are doing swag surfing on the sidelines, and what's the energy like on this team right now?
Obviously, that's kind of our go-to when we're playing at home, and we know that when we're playing well or whatever. But yeah, no, that that's always fun to see. It's always fun to dance with the team. But yeah, it's just fun, man. It's simply just having fun with your teammates and just knowing that the work you put in that week, paid off. So when we get to do that, man, it's a blast for sure.
Our next question comes from Sam Stubbe of KURE. Go ahead, Sam.
Hi, Mike. You guys kept them out of the end zone today. Were you guys executing well to kind of prevent them from scoring?
It was just, we wanted to come in and obviously stop the run game. They got a really talented back. We did a good job at that. And obviously with the early lead, they weren't going to run the ball as much, so we knew that. So, you know, a lot more passing today than we thought, but, you know, we still did a good job on that end of it. But, you know, really just following the game plan, you know, everyone doing what they got to do their job on Saturday. Obviously was just played a huge part in our success today.
And what was the defensive game plan coming in today?
Number one, stop the run, and honestly, just, you know, make the QB throw the ball was probably, it was probably the game plan in a nutshell for sure.
Thank you.
Yep.
Our next question comes from Randy Peterson of the Des Moines Register. Go ahead, Randy.
Mike, we all know what happened down the stretch last season. Now y'all enter the championship game against OU probably with a 5-game winning streak. What role has the new strength staff played in that accomplishment?
A huge role. You know, we really stressed this year, we got to be playing our best football come November, December, and the most important thing to do that is to make sure your bodies feel, you know, fresh. And, you know, talking to my teammates, a lot of people do feel that way, and, you know, that starts with, you know, what you do in the weight room, and then on top of that, the second most important thing is what you do in practice and what you do to save your body and recovery and all that. And honestly, it seems like we're doing recovery stuff every day. So, but, you know, it's obviously paid off. And obviously we got to, you know, get our legs back for the game we have in a couple weeks here.
Thank you.
Yep.
And that's all we have for you, Mike. Thanks for your time.
All right, appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Mike. Yep.
Thanks, everybody.
Goodbye.
You the man, Mike. Appreciate it. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah.